Oh, yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. We wanted to do a salute to people who have passed away while we were gone away. My favorite guest of all time is Super Dave Osborne, because he would just call whenever he felt like calling, and then whatever happened. And for people who don't know, Super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, Marty Funkhouser on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm. He passed away January 2nd, 2019. And so I've been looking when he died, it really, really hit me. As a matter of fact, he left me a voicemail, and I'm dying looking for it. I can't find it. But he basically said, when are you getting back on? It's not radio without Johnny B. Call me.
He had a joke.
Yeah, because he had to tell a joke. You know, he would get on the air, and then he would leave voicemails like this for me.
Doesn't it seem like sometime we could talk all day? Thank you.
Isn't that awesome? He would just leave him. He'd get off the air. I'd get in my car. I'd see my phone.
Doesn't it seem like sometime we could talk all day? Thank you.
He recurred on Curb Your Enthusiasm as Marty Funkhouser, as we said. I guess we should have funeral music for this. All right, because that seems too upbeat right now. So, Super Dave Bob Einstein died January 2nd, 2019. This is the Variety obit. He died in Indian Wells, California. He was 76, diagnosed with cancer. And when I heard that, I just like, I see a lot of these celebs dying that we've talked to, whatever, but that one just got me like, wow, Super Dave.
He seemed too crusty to die.
Right. Just a second. Too Crusty to Die was my third album. And I will tell you, people did not enjoy it. Why'd you got to bring that up? Best known to the Today audience would be playing Marty Funkhouser on Curb, always a foil to Larry David. He was going to be in the upcoming 10th season of Curb, but he was ill. So he never made, not upcoming, it's already over. The season 10 is already over. I'm reading the January 2019 obit. A comedian's comedian, Einstein first made his name as a writer. His career dates to the 60s when he won his first Emmy as part of the writing team for the Smothers Brothers. That will be dealt with in this podcast. And that is some funny stuff. That is some really interesting stuff, too. He also did Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, Dick Van Dyke. He did Pat Paulson's half-hour comedy. He also showed up later on in Arrested Development. And he wrote for Red Fox. Can't a man relax? Do you remember that story?
No.
Oh,
wait, I do remember that story.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
But he spent his entire career living on the edge.
Yeah, you're going to hear that story. Super Dave's most memorable character on the Smothers Brothers was, as you say, Officer Judy, who famously gave Liberace a speeding ticket for playing the piano too fast in 1969. See what I mean? Guy was out there, man. Wow. That's awesome. Hey, why am I getting a ticket, Liberace? You're playing the piano too fast. That's awesome.
Genius.
Super Dave is really where I kind of fell in love with him, watching the Super Dave Osborne, stunt show. Yeah. He's falling off the tower in Toronto, getting racked by a wrecking ball, being swept off while singing King of the Road. He hits his head on an overpass. All of this was pre-Jackass stuff, Yeah. Listen to this part. Listen to this part of his obituary. Perhaps Super Dave's greatest stunt was having a case against him nearly making it to the U.S. Supreme Court. A Polish group objected to an appearance on the Dick Cavett Show in 1972 when he posed as the president of a fake Polish defamation league and told a series of offensive jokes. No, that doesn't sound like Super Dave, does it?
This is a Polish joke, and I don't like telling Polish jokes, I know, but this is so perfect.
Go ahead, Super Dave Osborne.
Okay, an Irishman, Italian, and a Polish gentleman are waiting for the electric chair. Warden says, come up. Well, I'm going to call your name. Come up one at a time. Say your last final statement. Sound. Take it like a man of Flaherty. Irishman comes up. What's your final statement? I'm innocent. I may sit down. Pulls the lever. Nothing happens. He said, that's 1,000,000 to 1. Get out of here. You're free. Irishman runs away. Just the Italian comes up. What's your final statement? He said, same thing. I'm innocent. Sits down. Pulls the lever. He says, nothing happened. That's 1,000,000,000 to 1. Get out of here. Jablonski, you're last. Polish gentleman comes up. He said, what's your final statement? He said, first of all, that chair's unplugged.
Super Dave Osborne.
See what I mean? Look at now. Listen to the way he just said the first sentence, and you and I were already cracking up. Yeah. He just goes.
This is a Polish joke, and I mean, I don't like telling Polish jokes, I know, but this is so perfect.
Go ahead, Super Dave Osborne.
Okay, an Irishman, Italian, and a Polish gentleman are waiting for the electric chair.
See? It's like immediately sucked into it. But just immediately sucked in. But had I known at the time that he was up almost in the Supreme Court till they threw it out for going on the Smothers Brothers pretending he was from the DeKalb and pretending he was the president of the Polish Defamation League, so he could just rattle off a bunch of bad Polish jokes. Oh, man, that is funny. Super Dave, you're going to hear a lot of those jokes in here. You're going to hear the Red Fox stories, the Slappy White stories. Norm Macdonald's in the studio, and then Super Dave calls in because I told him that Norm would be in, and they like each other. You never set up a Super Dave interview. Just leave a voice. Hey, man, let you know Norm Macdonald's showing up. Okay.
Yeah, he can't stay away.
No, he just shows up. But Norm, the deal with Norm at the time was I read a story that he had never spoken to his brother, hadn't spoken to his brother Neil in Canada for 15 years. And so I hooked up Norm with his brother, and Norm's talking to his brother, and Super Dave calls in, and Norm's brother was just really not that impressed.
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
That's Norm's brother, because Super Dave was telling some jokes and he wasn't laughing.
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage? You know, the witty back and forth. What happened to that?
Badinage is like a badminton term.
You know what? I don't know how you wound up funny. That's all I can tell you. I have no concept. You must have run away from home when you were 3. Do you have any other funny brothers and sisters? We get them all on the phone. We could destroy Brandmeier forever.
We can destroy Brandmeier forever. Oh, he hated him. You'll hear that, the full interview, Norm and Super Dave going at it with his brother who ended up hanging up, I guess. I can't wait to hear it myself.
We're still not talking.
Probably not after that. The art of badinage. The art of badinage. Okay, what else? Paul Rodriguez was on the phone. He called him. One time we're interviewing a turkey calling champion. For some reason, he thought that was funny. I have no idea. Super Dave, by the way, his father was a comedian himself. And
do you know the name?
Yeah, his name was Harry Einstein, a.k.a. Parky Akarkas, a comic. He went under the name Parky Akarkas. Would you welcome, please, Parky Akarkas?
It seems like I've heard that before.
Harry Einstein, Parky Akarkas. And here's the really weird part, because this leads into when I first met Super Dave Osborne. When Milton Berle and other comics told jokes at his father's funeral in 1958, the teenage Super Dave decided he would never go into comedy. He thought it was disrespectful. His dad's funeral, Milton Berle is riffing jokes on his dad in a coffin, and Super Dave's like, "No, this is not for me." Can you imagine that? It's not for me. But the weird thing is, one day, I'm talking to a guy, a comic, who literally was being hired as the comic funeral guy. He will go to your wake and do jokes for you, okay? And Super Dave, at that point, this was the first time I was ever going to meet him in person. He comes into this. I'm on the air with this guy talking about, well, wait a minute. You go into funeral homes and you do jokes. He goes, yeah, people love it, blah, blah, blah. And Super Dave was waiting in the green room. He just said, hell with it. And he walks in, and he stayed with me 2 hours that day. It was like, this guy was like my brother. It was so funny. He was just ripping this guy apart and telling jokes. And that's when I met him. But I never knew the story that his father had Milton Berle telling jokes at his funeral. Maybe that's what triggered it, right?
Well, the fact that he didn't like it and still wound up to being a comedian explains why he's so weird.
Right.
He's doing something that he doesn't want to do, and yet he's a genius.
He's a genius doing it. Well, he was anyway. He was. He would just call up and out of the blue. He would tell any kind of crazy joke. He'd always, and it was jokes that I never heard before.
Right.
That's the weird thing. We kept saying, wait a minute. How is it possible you could tell us a joke we've never heard before? And he did.
I don't know if you know, this is a true story, okay?
Yeah.
You want to hear it?
Sure.
Guy went to a doctor last week, and he'll tell you this. And the doctor said, what's the problem, Guy? And he said, well, before I tell you, you've got to promise not to laugh. He said, I've been a doctor for 45 years. I don't laugh at my patients. He said, all right. He drops his pants, and he's got a 1-inch penis. Doctor starts to laugh so hard he falls on the floor. Pounds the floor, pulls himself up on the desk. He said, I'm so sorry. He said, I've never laughed in my life. Please forgive me. What is your problem? Guy said, it's swollen.
Oh, boy. Hey, guy just kills me. Super Dave Osborne is dead. And while we were gone, he died. We never got to pay him a proper salute. I mean, I'm going to miss jokes like that.
A guy gets on an elevator with a girl, and he said, excuse me, young lady, can I smell your private parts? And she said, no, you can't smell my private parts. He said, then it must be your feet.
The one, the only.
Doesn't it seem like sometime we could talk all day?
I wish we could, pal. Super Dave Osborne Memorial Tribute. That was the last time I heard him.
Doesn't it seem like sometime we could talk all day?
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy it. This is the Super Dave Memorial Tribute.
You need to hear the history to see the future. The Brandmeier Archives.
Good morning.
Super Dave Osborne, the greatest superstar daredevil entertainer of all time. Marty Funkhouser on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm. SuperDaveOsborne.net. Hey, is this really Super Dave, or have I been dialing the wrong?
B, how long has it been since we've talked?
A long time, brother man.
Oh, I miss you so much.
Super.
No, are you on the air or are you just at home?
I'm at home right now, but thanks for calling back.
So great. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm just here. You want to talk to my kids or anything, or?
Oh, no, not right now. I'm having a beer.
How about the cleaning lady? Anyone else?
No, let me tell you something that happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
And my left hand is on a Bible and my right hand's in the air.
Go.
It is the best candid camera, except it wasn't. I'm having lunch in a restaurant. I had a root canal in the morning, not feeling great, but having lunch in a restaurant with my wife. Oh, the maitre d' brings two women in and sits them directly across from us in a booth. And one of them is a little hefty and very loud, and there's only like 17 inches between the two booths across the aisle. One of them stands up, the heavy one, and says, I got to use the head. And I realize then there's a problem. Okay?
Yeah.
So she goes, she comes back, sits down, and says, oh, that was good. What are you going to have? She says to the other girl. And they're talking. And then she takes a handkerchief out and proceeds to blow her nose. Now, not at her partner who's sitting across from her, because that would be rude. She blew it completely on us. And for 20 minutes, and it was like Al Hurt giving a recital. I never felt wind like that and everything else, okay?
Oh.
And I'm trying to cover my salad and a little cup of soup. She then turns, and the woman with her said, "What a lovely handkerchief. It's embroidered." She says, "You can have it. I've got 3 others."
Oh, my God.
And gave it to her. She gave it to her.
Oh, my God.
And she gave it to her, and I had to leave my salad in my soup. I couldn't even take it with me.
Oh, my Lord. Did you?
know.
I mean,
That's
there
what
was,
I said.
there was a report recently that talked about how long and how far germs within a sneeze or blowing your nose carries. If you had seen that report and that had happened to you at the same time, you would have barfed in your salad.
No storm this winter that carried that much volume. The power of the wind and what came out of that handkerchief toward us was insane.
I like the fact that she got up and said, I have to go to the head. I got to use the head.
Dude, that's when I knew there was a problem.
Right. One woman says, I got to use the head.
What woman says that?
I got to use the head.
Maybe Kris Jenner. You know what I would love for Christmas? I would love Santa to come down the chimney and kick Kris Jenner in the nuts.
You know what I would like? I would like Santa, what would you like, Super Dave? Come on, sit on my lap. What would you like for Christmas? Go ahead, little boy. What can I get for you? What would you like?
I already said it.
He never repeats a punchline. He never repeats a punchline. But wait a minute, Super Dave, let me ask you something. I have been calling you. Have you been getting our messages?
No, because I'm out of town.
Oh, my God. Okay, wait. Is the number that we have been dialing your number because someone's getting a lot of craziness from us?
It's probably, it's probably my message machine.
Oh, my God. I don't know.
John B., I'm so happy that is the buzz still there?
Yeah, is the buzz still alive? Yes. Did you hear anything? You know, Buzz, I don't know how one of your jokes came up, and then we were going like, nobody knows these. First of all, when you tell a joke, we never hear these jokes ever again anywhere. So where do they come from? I don't even get it.
I got one for you.
Oh, good.
Let me say this, and no one could ever, it's impossible not to laugh at it.
Okay.
10-year-old's walking down the hallway of his house. He hears screaming in his parents' bedroom. He opens the door. There's his father dressed in a cowboy hat and swim fins and nothing else. His mother's wearing an Oprah wig and bunny shoes, and they are having fun. And the little boy says, "Daddy, what's going on?" He says, "Oh, nothing. We're just having fun, Billy. Go to bed. I'll tuck you in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, father's trudging down the hallway, hears screaming in the kid's bedroom. He opens the door. Billy's having sex with his grandmother. He says, "Billy, what the hell are you doing?" He says, "It's not so funny when it's your mother, is it?"
Yeah, see, I heard that one, but I know that joke.
I must have told it to you.
Yeah, that's right. You told it to me. So now we know that you're the only one that tells that joke because.
Yes, I am. But the problem is I haven't talked to you in so long.
Right. And now we're going to get.
We've got to keep the communications line.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, you have the number. You can call whenever you want. You got a number. Call here whenever you want now.
How's the buzzer?
Hey,
I'm fine, Dave. Thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate that.
I'm so glad you two are still together.
Isn't that funny? I think that's awesome. Let me talk about your jokes for a second. Buzz is still alive. We're still alive. It is fantastic. I'm going to do a little joke comparison because.
I tell you this one, but the problem is this is a Polish joke, and I don't like telling Polish jokes, I know, but this is so perfect.
Well, let me tell you, yesterday we were talking about their lining up in Poland, and all the listeners began to call in and tell Polish Army jokes, so you're fitting right in today. Go ahead, Super Dave Osborne.
Okay, an Irishman, Italian, and a Polish gentleman are waiting for the electric chair. Warden says, "Come up, well, I'm going to call your name. Come up one at a time. Say your last final... Do you know this? Did I tell you this?
Nope.
Say your last final statement. Sound taken like a man of Flaherty." Irishman comes up. "What's your final statement?" "I'm innocent. I may sit down." Pulls the lever. Nothing happens. He said, "That's 1,000,000 to 1. Get out of here. You're free." Irishman runs away. Italian comes up. "What's your final statement?" He said, "Same thing. I'm innocent." Sits down. Pulls the lever. He says, "Nothing happened. That's 1,000,000,000 to 1. Get out of here." "Jablonski, you're last." Polish gentleman comes up. He said, "What's your final statement?" He said, "First of all, that chair's unplugged."
Super Dave Osborne. There's no business like a death business.
goodness. Oh, my God. I love it.
There's no sentence
Like a death sentence. Oh, my God. See? And so now when I hear you say those jokes, I go, well, you know what? I'm going to try to repeat it. So I'll be out and I'll say, hey, remember that there's an Italian guy and the guy, the Irish guy. My favorite joke you told on Kimmel was the dirt joke. But I want to just do a joke comparison with you, Super Dave, for a second, because I heard you. Sometimes you change words around in the joke. One time you were on Conan. I don't know where this is, but listen to this joke. I love this joke.
A guy gets on an elevator with a girl, and he said, "Excuse me, young lady, can I smell your private parts?" And she said, "No, you can't smell my private parts." He said, "Then it must be your feet."
Okay, now, so Super Dave. So then, but that's weird. On my show, on this program, you use that. Wait, you say exactly.
A guy gets on an elevator with a girl, and he said, "Excuse me, young lady. Can I smell your private parts?"
Yeah, but on Conan, you actually use the P word just so. Now, why did you?
The woman gets on the elevator with, well, I'll dance around it, but she's got a cat in her arms. And he says, "Excuse me, young lady, can I smell your..." Because she has a cat in her arms.
Right.
And she said, "No, you can't smell my..." He said, "Then it must be your damn feet."
So, no, wait a minute. Which way do you like it better? I like it
the first way.
The first way. Yeah, because otherwise then we have to...
Because you got to bleep it if I do it the other way. I like it the first way.
It's so good. But the joke that we like, this is the kind of joke that you do. The one you just told about the death row and the Irishman. See, I can't remember the Polish guy. That's one I think I can tell. When you told this one on Kimmel, I said, "Oh, I got to remember. Oh man, I got to remember this joke."
Guy goes to a doctor. He says, "Doctor, how am I?" He says, "Not very good." He said, "Your one kidney's failing. Your white blood cell count is up over 1,000. Your artificial heart is on the blink, and it looks like both your lungs are filled with water." He said, "Well, what should I do?" He said, "I want you to go home and take a nice long mud bath." He said, "Why?" He said, "I want you to get used to dirt."
Oh, my God. But see, the thing, though, we never hear those jokes anywhere. It's almost like you lie in wait, and then you build them up, and then you come out of the woodwork like some kind of cicada.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I don't. Here's the thing. I'm not a joke teller, but I love to tell a joke. I love to tell a great joke because I love to make people laugh. But I'm not a guy who goes out and tells jokes.
Like, wait. So, Super Dave, you have never done stand-up before? I know you.
No. I
now, why do you say it like that? Like, oh no. Why do you say it like that?
Well, because my whole thing is to go out and tell people that these are not funny.
Right.
And tell a joke. And I did a thing once. Oh, it's not worth talking about. But tell a joke and not enjoy the laughter, because the audience laughs harder at the joke and then the fact that I don't get what I'm doing. I think that's just funnier. I just think it's funnier than a guy coming out and laughing at his own stuff.
I think what you're right about that, because I think the fact that what always gets me is that you can tell you enjoy it. You just love. But I think you said it the other day. It's like he. You can tell he wants to tell it.
You're having so much fun telling that joke that it infects you. I mean, I
told the joke on Curb Your Enthusiasm that you could never tell anywhere. And, that show is all ad lib. And so I get the outline, and it says Funkhouser tells Jerry Seinfeld a dirty joke.
Right.
So I said to myself, there's no place in the world I can use this joke except now. I told the joke, Jerry fell on the floor. And they left most of the laugh in, but because of camera angles, I had to tell it again. And when I would start the story, someone would start laughing, either in the cast, in the camera crew. I had to tell it 11 times.
Wow. Well, let me be clear on this. So we're talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm, of course, where your character, Super Dave's character, is Marty Funkhouser. And I was talking about this the other day. I was saying this is an example of how It's just Super Dave as Marty Funkhouser walking up to tell Seinfeld a joke. And I don't know if this is true or not, but in real life, I guess comedians probably wouldn't want another comic coming up to him. Hey, yeah, have you heard the joke? You can hear in the scene, Jerry's like a little, oh, here he goes. And Larry David's trying to say, Larry David's going like, no, don't bother him.
I say to Jerry, do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
He says no.
No.
Jerry, Marty, Funkhouser.
Hey, Marty.
Wait, listen to this, Super Dave. Listen.
Jerry, Marty, Funkhouser.
Hey, Marty, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh, no.
No. And he goes like this. No. I don't want to hear it. But this is a great joke. So Curb Your Enthusiasm. Now you've told it, and now I'm seeing this in a whole new way of respect. So this is the first time that Jerry doesn't know the joke's coming.
No.
Larry David doesn't know this joke's coming.
Yes. The only one I told it to was Larry.
Okay, let's listen. Here it is. Super Dave Osborne as Marty Funkhouser on HBO's Curb.
You can't play this joke.
Jerry, Marty, Funkhouser.
Hey, Marty, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh, no.
He doesn't want to hear a joke. We have a read-through.
Yeah, we got
Let me just get right through it.
Okay.
A woman's very afraid of the size of her opening.
What is she afraid of?
The size of her opening. So she goes to her mother. She says, what am I going to do? I'm so big down there. When I marry Harry, he's going to divorce me. Her mother says, don't worry, sweetheart. It runs in the family. Do what I did when I married your father. Go to the market, get some raw liver, put it in there. He'll never know the difference.
Oh, my God.
So she does. They have 8 hours of sex after their marriage. She wakes up at 10 o'clock. He's gone, but there's a note on her pillow. It says, my darling Harriet, to think that I waited a year to consummate our love relationship makes my heart beat so loud I'm surprised it didn't wake you up. The only reason I'm not here now, darling, is I'm at work to make enough money to buy you a house, a picket fence, we'll have dogs and children.
Oh, this is not so bad.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Will you finish the fucking joke already?
When the 5 o'clock dinner bell rings, I will be home like the winged gossamer of your love in your arms, your loving husband, Harry.
That's nice.
P.S. Your cunt is in the sink.
Okay, you told your joke. Let's go.
How good is that?
It surprised me. It's a surprise. I had no idea it would be that revolting.
Oh, my God. I had no idea that would be that revolting.
What's great is I'm there for support.
Oh, my
And
God.
Larry doesn't want me there.
Yeah, that's when they're filming the Seinfeld reunion sort of a
Yeah,
bit.
they're reading through the script, and I'm there for support, and I've got a plate full of food.
You're not, because you're like the annoying guy you don't want on a set anywhere near any. Oh my God! Hey, you want to hear a joke? No! And then he goes, well, then he goes, oh, that's not so bad. Like as he goes further and further, Dave keeps plowing further and further ahead. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not so bad. And then he goes, I had no idea it would be that revolting. Finish your effing joke already, Larry David said.
God.
The last thing Larry David wants to do as that character in that scene is have you meet Jerry Seinfeld.
The last thing in the world.
Oh my God!
And then Jerry said, "I like him."
Yeah, now, wait, yeah. That's he turned. He did say he turns walking away. He goes, "I like him."
I said, "Let's go sit at the table." He said, "You go sit in the bleachers."
I like him. He's turning away. Yeah, I like him. Now wait a minute. So now, you said you had to go shoot that 11 different times.
I had to do the joke 11 times because every time I would start the joke, a woman's very afraid of the size of her opening. Something's wrong.
No, wait a second.
Or behind the scrim where the cameras are, or the director, or somebody, because they couldn't take it. They knew where it was going.
Because they heard it 10 times.
Yes.
Well, wait. Let's break this down one more second. There's one other thing in here where I heard and I go, oh, my God. Listen.
Jerry, Marty, Funkhouser.
Hey, Marty, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Want to hear a joke?
Oh,
He doesn't want to hear a joke. We have a read-through.
Yeah, we got
Let me just get right through it.
Okay.
A woman's very afraid of the size of her opening.
What is she afraid of?
I love that so much.
Because,
I love that so much.
But how, see, that is what you probably, well, I don't know, but, because you're such a spontaneous dude, but you worked in television your whole life and film. Isn't that like when you get to the 11th time you're telling that joke?
No, that was the first time.
I know. So wait a minute. The one I'm hearing, the one that showed up was the best.
No, the one... The first time was Jerry saying that, and also Jerry's reaction to the joke.
Okay.
And then some other cuts, but then they had to do close-ups of Larry, close-ups of me, close-ups of Jerry. So I had to tell the joke again and again and again. And the problem was I couldn't just tell it once for a take. I had to tell it 3 times each time because I get halfway through the story and there's a laugh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that must by the 11th take of the joke, you're like, oh my God,
No. I'm loving it. I just love it. It's such an outlandish, ridiculous thing for a guy who wasn't even invited to this thing to come up to Jerry and tell this joke.
Yes, exactly. And only because he's Larry David's, you're Larry David's friend, your character is in this in real life. That's the only way he has to put up with it.
Right, and then he said, "What are you doing here?" Later, I said, "Jerry said I could stay."
Because he likes you. Hey, when is Curb coming back to the airwaves? Is it done?
Yeah, I'm afraid it is, and it just upsets me so much.
Wait a minute. With Larry David, how do you know for sure it's finished? He say it's finished?
You don't. I left a message on his machine the other day. I said, "I wish you didn't have a dime."
Yes, that's right, but he's got $1 billion.
Oh, yeah. It's that show is just so much fun to do. It's just so much fun to do because it's all ad lib.
Right.
So you're really listening to what the other person's saying, and no one's memorizing anything, and it's just really it's a blast.
Yeah, no, wait. So how do you know then it is? You don't know. Did Larry David say to you when you leave a message on his machine, he leaves a message back on yours, "Hey, Super, I'm too bad I do have a dime. We're not going to come back." Or does he ever say it definitively or no? Sure?
He said it, but that really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
He's going to do something on Broadway, something he wants to do.
Yeah.
So, I hope it's a smash, and then maybe he'll come back.
Well, I got to tell you something. I watched an interview. You made me how it was Inside Comedy with David Steinberg. And I wanted to I wish that he'd only done you. Listen, all the due respect to Eric Idle, but I wanted to see, because you were going on some things that you had to get cut off on. I don't know if a lot of people know. You wrote for the Smothers Brothers, Super Dave. You wrote with Steve Martin as one of the writing partners and David Steinberg, right? And for the Smothers, and Tommy Smothers really kind of gave you a break. You went out on a limb, right?
Gave me my life, gave Steve Martin his life, gave everyone in that era their life. I mean, that show was so hot, and we got picked up and then canceled.
Yeah.
No show had ever been canceled before, and it came from the White House.
Yeah, because of the too political, the agenda.
Yeah, because we were doing anti-Vietnam jokes.
It was weird that, I don't think a lot of people ever heard anybody say, Tommy Smothers and the Smothers Brothers gave me and a lot of some of the greatest, yourself and Steve Martin, as you say, in the business, their first shot. That's a pretty amazing story. The other one was...
And to get, the thing is that... Do you want to? Oh, I don't want to bore people. But,
no, I want to hear this. I'm curious about this. It's very interesting.
I'm working for an advertising agency.
Yeah.
Okay? I've been there 3.5 years, and there was a guy in L.A. named Bob Arbogast who was a big radio guy there, and I used to use him for a lot of voiceover for commercials.
What station was he on there?
What?
What station?
He was on KMPC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so... he also had a local television show on Channel 5 out there on Friday nights. So I said to him, you know what, I want to come on your show tonight, and I want to be the guy who puts the stars' names in the sidewalks of Hollywood. And you asked me, how does that happen? And I'll tell you about all the research I do and everything else. And you then intimate that you heard it's just a matter of money, and I'm going to blast you. And then you say, well, how would I get my name in the Starbucks? And I said, do you have $10? Okay. Audience laughs. Good. I go home. And I'm happy with it. It worked. And the next day, my secretary comes in the office and says, there's a Tom Smothers on the phone for you. So I'm going, oh, great. So I pick up the phone. I said, hi, Tommy. How you doing, pal? I said, I'd love to talk to you, but my uncle's a hunchback, and he's straightening up today, so I don't have the time. And he said, Bob? Yeah, Tom Smothers. I said, oh, my God. It is you. He said, yeah, I saw you last night. I love what you did. I would like you to come over to CBS today. I'd like to talk to you about something. And I've got chills. I've got chills.
Yeah.
It's so far removed from what I'm doing, and so I go over there, and I'm watching rehearsal in the studio, and Now in my mind, I'm trying to make everything funnier. Everything funny that I see, I'm trying to make funnier. So he comes over, and he starts introducing me to people and telling them what I did, this stupid little thing. And he says, we're doing a summer show with Glenn Campbell, and we're using all new writers. I'd like you to be a writer-performer. And so I said, okay. And he said, you're going to work with this kid. He's a magician at Knott's Berry Farm. His name's Steve Martin. I said, all right, hi, Steve. How are you? And that's how it started.
Wow.
That's how ridiculous it is. And Steve and I lived together in a duplex for 6 years.
As roommates?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's how I started. And we went from Campbell to Smothers Brothers, and then when Smothers were canceled, Steve and I did the Pat Paulson half a comedy hour, and then I teamed up with Alan Bly, who was one of the producers of the Smothers, and we did Sonny and Cher, and we did. I wrote on Sonny and Cher with Steve, and then Alan and I did Red Fox and Dick Van Dyke.
Red Fox. Oh my God, the Red Fox. Tell me if this is true. When you worked for Red Fox, you had a meeting with Red Fox, and he had an office with sort of a library and a revolving door, and he disappeared into it while you were talking to him.
Not a revolving door. It was a fireplace.
What do you?
I'm sitting there. He comes in. Now I knew Red. He knew me, but he didn't know my partner, Bly. So he called us Einstein. and he came up the stairs, and he was beat. And he said, excuse me a minute. And he goes into a revolving fireplace, and it becomes a bookcase. I'm telling you the truth. And he comes out 3 minutes later. He said, how you doing? How you doing, Einstein? Okay. And his white stuff on his lip. And I said, you got white crap on your lip. He said, it always happens when I have sugar donuts for breakfast.
To me, that's like a Curb episode. It's like there's Red Fox. He's talking to these writers, Super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, and he's talking to him, and he's like, yeah, just a minute. And then the doors flip around.
Johnny, he was the funniest. He was. This is simply the hardest I've ever laughed. I don't know if I could tell this on the radio, but I guess I can.
What is it?
The very first show, we got 400 people from the farmers market in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, Red Fox. And we had this giant set, this REDD lettering that turned into a tenement. And the music's playing, and out comes Red, but there's no Red. Music's playing, ladies and gentlemen, no Red. I stop tape. I go to his dressing room. Now, all Red did all day is grass, coke, and sex. But when it came time to tape, he knew everything. Don't ask me how or what, I don't know, but he would watch me rehearse through a camera. So I knock on the door, I hear, what? I open the door. The girl who does Red's hair is sitting on top of him. He's in the chair. So I see her dress, and his legs underneath. And I said, Red, and from under the dress, he said, what? I said, we're on camera. He said, can't a man relax?
Can't a man relax?
Can't a man relax? How can you answer that?
Can't a man relax? Oh, my God. The taping's going on out in wherever it was. You're saying a lot of money put into the Red Fox show. You're sitting out there. You walk in the door, and there he is underneath a woman's dress.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my
God. And there was story after. The first meeting I ever had with him was at his house. And because he would have occasional toot on the marijuana, a little bit up the nose, he had cameras, CBS, every camera you could possibly have in his driveway. And the bodyguard he had was a huge guy with a metal plate in his head. So we're talking about the show, and all of a sudden I look outside the glass windows where the pool is, and there's 4 or 5 dogs that are half horses. They're the biggest dogs I've ever seen, and they've got napkins on. They haven't eaten in months, and they're patrolling the grounds. And down the driveway comes Slappy White. Do you remember Slappy White?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a great black vaudevillian comedian.
Slappy White, of course.
Oh, brilliant. So he comes in, and everyone called Red Chief. He said, how you doing, Chief? He said, good, Slappy. He said, this is my producer, Einstein. He said, I want you to go down to the pool house, and I'll meet you later. I'm having a meeting right now. And he said, what about your dogs? He said, God damn, I've known you for 50 years. My dogs ever touch you? So I'll be shrugged his shoulders. And we sat like on Cinerama Dome and watched these dogs chase Slappy White around the yard until he went into the pool with his clothes on. And Red never stopped him. This is not a young man. Red never called the dogs up, and he said, God damn, they did go after him, didn't they? Okay, let's talk about the show.
Slappy. Hey, Slappy. Get off him. Get off Slappy. Get off Slappy's ass. Can a man relax? Can a man relax? Can a man relax under a woman's dress? Can a man? Oh, my God. I just love to be able to say the word Slappy White. Remember that story? Tom Hanks. You know, Tom Hanks was he ever told the story on Letterman about was Slappy White? He was a golf. What do you call it? A caddy? Yes, a caddy, right? I couldn't think of the word. A caddy. And Slappy White. He took his Slappy White's golf bag. He pulls up to the thing, and Tom Hanks takes the bag out, throws him in the back of Slappy White's car. Slappy White goes, "Stop bending the shaft! Stop bending the shaft!" Like he went crazy and just kept, he remembered those words, just like, "Can't a man relax? Can't a man relax?"
And then I said to Red once, I said, we only give the audience 20 minutes tonight. I said, could you tell them a few jokes? And he goes, sure. And when he said yeah or sure to me, I knew I was in trouble.
Wait. So you told him, you told him, hey, Red, listen, we didn't give him a lot of time. Why don't you go up and now tell him some of your stand-up?
Not some of the stand-up, just a couple of jokes.
Just Red Fox. Red, please go tell him some jokes.
Right.
Okay.
So he comes out, and the first thing he says in the mic is, how many people wash your strange area this evening?
Your ass?
And yes. And I said, that's enough. Thank you. Give me the mic. No, don't worry.
Hey, how many people wash your ass tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's purses snapping and people fainting and everything. And I said, thanks, Red. He said, no, I got one more. He said, they got all kind of flavored douches on the market. Strawberry, persimmon, pineapple. I told my wife about it. With my luck, she came back with tuna.
And everybody's walking out.
Oh, yeah. And he says to me, is that good, Bob?
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, that's real good, Red. Can a man relax? Now I got to get back and relax. People, I guess, who don't know the history of Red Fox, he may be one of the dirtiest comics that ever lived, but that guy was funny, man.
But you know something? He was the guy that led them all. He was before anybody.
We're talking 50s for him, right? We're talking.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you would have loved sitting with him.
Oh, man.
He got everything so quickly and came back and loved to laugh.
Oh, man. You, me, Red Fox, and Slappy White, that'd be my idea of heaven.
Oh, my God.
throw Larry David in there. We got ourselves a party. But I swear to God, you got to bring Super Dave Osborne, the stunt, back again, because there was one video I just saw where it was you on top of... Here's the magic of what you did. The stunt idea is hilarious in itself, trying to out-top yourself every week on the Super Dave Osborne Show. But the fact that you were like on top of a trailer, playing the piano, and then you're saying, but you're touring the country under the Stop Profanity.
I'm going to do a 500-mile sing-along.
Yeah.
To end profanity on the highway because you can't sing and swear at the same time.
Yeah, it's Stop Profanity tour.
And a quarter of a mile into it, Fuji drives under an overpass.
And then you bang your head. But I'm saying, most shows would be happy just to have the funny bit where the guy's playing the piano and his head gets lopped off under an underpass. Super Dave's got the whole, he sets it up with we're touring the country, 500 miles.
That's the beauty of it. It's the dumbest idea you could ever spend money on.
That's right. That's it. And yet somebody said...
I told the people, you know what? Put a couch on your car. Try it.
Yeah, put it on top of your car. Play the piano. You can't swear and drive. Oh, my God. I love that show. Super Dave Osborne.
I'll tell you a quick story you're going to love.
Go ahead.
Okay? I had a joke about Oprah, and to me, there was no race to it at all. but I was concerned. The joke is she goes to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, "What's the problem?" She said, "I'm fat, I'm overweight, I need help." He said, "Look, you make $80 billion a year." You know the joke?
I know the joke.
You have just interrupted a master.
I know. I couldn't help myself because it's the only time ever that I'm going to know a joke that he's going to tell. This is it.
No, you know it because I told it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know.
Listen.
All right.
But so she says, he says, "Look, you make $40 billion a year. You're the most famous woman in revered. I don't see your weight problem." She says, "Look, I gave you a deposit. I need help." He said, "All right, I'll do what I can. Stand up. Take off your dress. Now take off your underwear. Now get down on all fours and crawl over the window. Now go 4 inches forward, 6 inches backward." Oh, she said, "Doctor, how's this helping me with the insecurity about my weight?" He said, "Screw that. I bought a black knockout couch yesterday. I want to see where it looks best in the office."
Yeah.
No, wait, no, this is what's hysterical.
Yeah.
So I tell the joke on Letterman, but instead of Oprah, I use Delta Burke.
Oh, my God.
But wait, when I get to the punchline, he says, "Screw that. I bought a black knockout couch yesterday. I want to see where it looks best in the office. I forgot to make it a white knockout couch."
Oh, my God.
So there was silence.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with you, man? I'm telling you. Everything. All right, listen, 1 second. We got to go, but here's Super Dave. Here is you trying to tell the moth joke, and the guy you hear in the middle of it is Smoking Joe Frazier.
I love this. Don't you love this?
And all you hear is just he interrupts. That's all.
You walk into a dentist's office, and the dentist says, "May I help you?" And you say, "Yes, I think I'm a moth." And he said, "You think you're a moth? Well, unfortunately, I'm a dentist, and if you think you're a moth, you need a psychiatrist." He said, "I know. A moth." He said, "Well,
First one, you see what I mean? He goes, "A moth?
Why did you come in here?" And you say, "Because the light was on."
You see, Super Joe took him 19 seconds into it. Why'd you come in here? A moth? A moth? What? And he's interrupting, and you just hear Super Dave trying to get to the punchline. It's like, and that's a shortened version of it, but the long version is it's like he's bobbing and weaving throughout the whole joke. Punch, what? A moth? A light? Did you say a light? A man? Did you say a light? A man? There's a man in there? What'd you say? Super Dave Super Dave keeps jabbing. Boom, 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 punching Joe Frazier till he gets to the punchline. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Super Dave, you're the best. SuperDaveOsborne.net. You call anytime you want, sir. We're always.
It's been so long, and I can't believe how great it is. And tell Buzz not to shave his Adam's apple down. That's the first sign.
Just like Kris Jenner. Super Dave, we got to run. Thank you so much. Call anytime, brother.
Great to talk to you.
You're the best, brother.
Okay, bud.
Super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, Albert Brooks' brother, whole family's unbelievably talented. There they are. Super Dave, the greatest superstar daredevil entertainer of all time. Marty Funkhouser on HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm, which you just heard will not be coming back, but don't believe that if it comes from Larry David himself. And look, Buzz goes, "Couch."
I couldn't stop. I knew it was wrong. Yeah. I couldn't stop.
But the fact that he had to change it up to a white couch and that got screwed up, it's awesome. SuperDaveOsborne.net. That's where you find him. He's also Agent Caldwell, if you remember in Ocean's 13. He is the one, the only Bob Einstein. Super Dave Osborne. Hold on a minute. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Listen, if I lose my job, it was worth it. That half hour with Super Dave was some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard on the radio in Chicago. The history of comedy with Red Fox and the Smothers Brothers and Steve Martin, amazing, Johnny. I thank you for it. It was well worth it.
I love hearing the guy. And I tell you, the fact that we got the freedom to move around and not worry about getting cut up by a traffic report or something else is fascinating to me, and it's got to stay that way. I love it.
I tell you, man, it really is. And people that don't see that are really they're just not focused. We're so conditioned, exactly like you said, to be bip bop into different things, and that was just fantastic. And if this guy could speak his mind and have consciousness, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. It was tremendous, man. It was really
we
good.
Can blow it up Super Dave's butt because he deserves it. And I'll tell you, the history, he could talk, if you know the history of some of these people, you got to respect the history of this business. This guy has been around for a long, long time. There are so many stories that I could talk about with Super Dave, and we will continue those stories some other time. But I love it, and I appreciate the call, Bill, and I guarantee you Super Dave will appreciate it.
Keep rocking, brother.
Thank you very much.
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast.
Bobby Goldsboro.
I thought it was Carly Simon.
Bobby.
Hello.
Bobby.
I have listened to the sports report, the traffic report, the incoming.
Bobby.
What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. We wanted to hook you up with your good friend Super Dave Osborne in L.A., who just called at the same time you did.
Hello.
Super Dave, it's Bobby Goldsboro.
Hi, Bobby. Hello. How you doing? Doing great. How you doing? Great.
Hey, Super.
Yeah.
Did you get the message from Casey Kasem?
Yes, I did. Thanks a million.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
What do you want, a world tour?
No, now, listen, Bobby just called in from Florida. You know,
what about?
Well, the deal is, I was telling him how much you enjoyed the song Honey.
Yes.
And he, at that time, was saying, really, Bobby, go along with this. Did Super Dave Osborne really like Honey?
I did like Honey.
Yeah, okay, sing one line from Honey if you really liked it.
I miss you. There you go.
Knows it.
And I'm feeling good.
That was a great song.
Okay, sing The Night the Lights Went Out.
I'm not going to sing anything.
Okay, how about this?
What, am I on stage and you're requesting? What do you go? Why don't you throw up your underpants?
All right, now, Super.
What?
When was the last time you and Bobby Goldsboro sat down to really talk?
6 years ago.
Bobby, tell me about the meeting.
That was incredible. We were we were going to put a honey house on the compound. Exactly.
No, really?
Yes.
No,
we
seriously?
had to have a place for Simba the elephant to take a crap.
Oh, man. Why didn't that ever happen?
Because Bobby wouldn't come up with the money.
So, Bobby, you had a chance to work the Super Dave compound and had a chance to work yourself into that. Super Dave was giving you a nice deal you pulled out because of money only?
Yeah, he said it was going to cost me $100,000, so. Did I reach you at your apartment, or are you on the air?
Bobby's calling because, okay, so Little Green Apples, Bobby.
That was Roger Miller.
No, Little Green, wait a minute, I know Bobby didn't do that. Little Green Apples.
What are you talking about, what happened after he ate dinner?
The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia.
Yeah, that was good.
And Honey.
Exactly. Bobby Russell song.
That's right. That guy, they just buried him yesterday,
well,
Super
you know
Dave.
what? Who did they bury?
Bobby Russell.
I got to tell you something. I just found this out. Actually, I found this out yesterday. I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And how old was Bobby Russell? Bobby was, I would think, in his early 50s. How many years did he play for the Celtics? I think 6. I think. No, that was Bill. That was Bill.
Bill Russell.
Oh.
Super.
You know what? I got to tell you something. Bobby Russell wrote, obviously, besides Honey, he wrote Little Green Apples. I recorded Little Green Apples in the Honey album, and it was.
Why are you talking with that accent? You don't have that accent when I have dinner with you. Who are you trying to impress?
Did you cut his hair, Super Dave?
I can talk like that, too. If you want me to talk like that, we can all talk like that.
Get Casey Kasem on the phone, please.
I did the song in an album, and it got played so much out of the album that to this day, a lot of people think that I had the hit record of Little Green Apples, and I never had a single out on it. Roger Miller had the country single, and O.C. Smith had the hit pop single.
That's right. Well, O.C. Smith was great.
Yeah,
Hold
but
on.
most people,
all you guys are great. All you guys are great. I love listening.
I'll drink to that. Thank you very
much. Hey, Bobby, hold on. What a surprise. We have O.C. Smith on the line with us right now. Terry?
Yeah.
We call him Terry here. Go ahead, please.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
where's that?
That's O.C. Smith.
That ain't O.C. Smith, I'll tell you.
It's Jim Neighbors.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, calling from Hawaii. I was trying to have him call Super Dave, too, but he was busy. He was stuck in a volcano.
He was what?
He was stuck in a volcano.
Stuck in a volcano.
Super. Hey, Super?
What did you just say?
I said he was stuck in a volcano.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. It sounded like something, but it
certainly did.
You ever see the Al Pacino film Cruising? That's the lingo they used.
Yeah. I just put my underwear on over my pants.
So you don't get stuck in a volcano. Bobby Goldsboro, Super Dave joining us to talk about Bobby Russell, the late Bobby Russell.
I didn't know Bobby Russell. I mean, I'd like to say some glowing things about him.
Hey, way to ruin
but I didn't know him.
Way to ruin a nice eulogy.
No, I did know him. I knew of him, of course.
He was a good guy. He really was.
Super.
Yeah.
Would you sing the first line of Honey again for us?
Honey, I miss you.
Hey.
I cut a record on Honey, I Miss You.
Did you?
Yeah, I also cut the cheese.
There he goes. I also cut the cheese. Super. I got to.
I hope I don't bring your show down. Thank you very much. That was the flip side.
Now, Bobby.
What?
When will you be on?
That was called Honey, I'll See You.
And it would sure
embarrass Dave when Bobby shut up and yeah. Hey, Super.
You're welcome.
When will you have Bobby on again? Because that's one of the main reasons we're calling.
Main reason you
Until we find another reason.
How come you said main reason you're calling?
Because
what happened?
I was choking.
Did we get you during lunch?
No, I was choking.
Well,
when's the next time you're going to have him on?
When are we having Bobby on?
Yeah.
Very soon.
Dave, I want to do the show. I want to do a stunt with you, though.
I would love to do a stunt with you.
Huh?
We'll blow up the honey house.
Hey, great. I love it.
Where's the honey house?
The Smothers Brothers.
What's going on there?
The Smothers Brothers did the honey house.
Where did I reach you people?
Super. Super. I'd like your comments, both of you. Bobby, you a sports fan? I know you fish.
Oh, I'm a big sports fan. I'm a big baseball fan and football fan.
Super Dave and Bobby, your comments on Earl Bruce.
I can't believe it's going to be snuffed out by some guy by the name of Corey Johnson and Al Yates. I can't believe that. I don't want to believe that. Because all my life,
I think it was Robert De Niro in Disguise.
no matter what I might think, has been devoted to football players. I would not damage a player at all.
Ever? Well,
ever.
The situation is, first of all, they felt he was under a lot of pressure, and obviously after the press conference, he proved he wasn't.
Oh, yeah. He really showed the mellow side.
Yeah, he just shot a couple of players, that was all. You know, sometimes you can't get it through their head what they want him to do, and this guy jumped off sides and he shot him in the back.
And I would accept that as a player or as an alumni, let's say, of Colorado State. I would accept that.
Uh-huh.
Because you've got to learn that the real world is the same way.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yes. You don't do
Instead
well.
of drive-by shootings, you can have it done in practice.
You can do it right there. You don't
That's
perform, you're a dead
May
man.
hurt your recruiting a little bit, but can you see him with a parent? You've got to send your kid here.
Stop it!
We've just got to have him.
Let's get that ball down right now. Come on, move it. Whoa. Oh. Hold on, kid. Hold on now. Oh, man.
I can't believe it's going to be snuffed out by some guy by the name of Corey Johnson.
What a nut.
How about his halftime talk?
That was his halftime talk. Now, Bobby, when you were strung out on heroin for those years, did you at the time look to Super Dave for encouragement and help?
Everyone did. Everyone still does.
I appreciate that, but were you strung out on heroin?
I just found this out. I didn't know it.
As a
Obviously,
matter of fact, I saw you
strung out to
hiding
remember.
on an episode of Cops the other night, didn't I?
He was on Cops.
Yeah.
Bobby, the song Little Green Apples that Bobby wrote and he wrote Honey for You, they sounded exactly alike if you really put them together.
They were the same song.
They were. Just same song with different tempo.
And how did the Nights the Light went out to Georgia, whatever that was
What
called?
is that again? The light went out to Georgia?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh, how did the Nights...
Why don't you read off your script instead of ad-libbing?
All right, just a minute. Super, what page were we on?
6.
Hold on a minute.
The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. That was the name of it.
Hey, Bobby.
That was for Vicki Lawrence.
How was that song, Nights the Light Went Out in Georgia? How did that thing go?
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Da-da-da-da-da-da. That was a guitar part.
That's the night that they hung an innocent man.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
That was sung by Vicki Lawrence, who at the time was married to Bobby Russell.
Super, can you bring Bobby back to do like a salute to Bobby Russell?
Yeah,
When?
that would be great.
I'd like to show...
Well, I have to get to my calendar.
When do you
and
start...
It's in Detroit.
When you're done...
What?
Super, when you're finished bashing the Japanese in your cartoon,
You know something?
maybe you'll take some time
Let me tell you
to
something,
open up
young
your
man.
heart to
Let me
those
tell
less
you
fortunate.
something. What?
You heard me. You heard me.
I didn't have any idea what you said.
Hey, Super?
Yeah.
Super, Bobby, you guys are both in showbiz, right?
Yes, we are.
I told a showbiz joke the other day. These guys didn't get it.
Oh, let's hear it.
Buzz, did you get it?
I got it.
Okay, but you don't think it's funny, right?
I just didn't laugh at it.
Okay. Let's see if they laugh, because I think only showbiz guys.
Doesn't mean it's not funny.
I don't, but I think.
Let me hear it.
I think I'm going to tell it. I have to set it up a bit.
All right.
I think only showbiz guys can appreciate it. And Super Dave, if I'll stop before the punchline, and I'll bet you can give it to me.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Devil comes down and sees this guy.
Right.
He says, hey, you're going to die. Be in a couple of days. Listen, why don't you go to hell? Because I don't want to go to hell. He said, why do you want to go to heaven? He said, listen, let me show you a videotape of hell. It's beautiful. Beautiful women. You can eat all you want. Sex, everything you want. It's beautiful. Look at this videotape.
Right.
Do you know the joke?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the guy says, okay, great. I'm going to hell. Guy dies, goes to hell. It's terrible. Flames, everything he thought it wouldn't be. Right? He said, this isn't anything like the videotape. The devil said.
Go ahead.
Devil said. Yeah, I know. That was
you didn't see the pilot.
That was the pilot.
Oh.
You see?
Yeah.
You had it there, didn't you?
Yeah, it was close.
That was the pilot.
That was the pilot.
Wait, Super, don't talk. Bobby's still laughing. Go ahead, Bobby.
I'm still laughing. I couldn't get my
That
breath.
also works as an airline joke.
How does that work?
That was the pilot.
No, that does not work.
Super's funnier in the afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. He's killing me.
I'll tell you this one.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to tell Bobby, then you've got to tell us a joke, too.
All right.
If you just join us, we're talking about Bobby Russell, what he meant to so many people, and Bobby Goldsboro and Super Dave are with us.
An old man wants to go into a retirement home because he's tired of living alone in an apartment, and he looks. Have you got time for this?
Sure, go ahead. Bobby, do you?
Oh, of course.
Well, don't be so goddamn excited, Bobby.
Bobby.
Jeez.
Bobby, help him
I
out.
just finished fishing, and it's dark, so I can't fish anymore. I might as well listen to a joke.
All right, go ahead.
Pull the boat over and relax.
All right, here we go.
All right. A senior citizen wants to leave his apartment and go into a retirement home. So he looks in the paper and he says, brand new retirement home, totally naked. So he goes over there with the ad in his hand and he comes up to the desk. He said, excuse me, is this a totally naked retirement home? They said, yes, sir. He said, well, it sounds fascinating. The guy said, it's a brand new concept. We feel it'll be better for the senior citizen because they won't have to wear clothes. They'll take that decision away, and it might prove interesting and exciting. He says, I'd love to see what it's like. He says, all right, just leave your clothes here, and you can browse around naked in the hallway, go have a sandwich in our coffee shop, and go up and look at our rooms. So the guy walks around, takes his clothes off, he's wandering around the hall, he goes in, he has a sandwich, then he goes up to the second floor, and he's walking down the hallway, and a door is open. So he walks into the room, and it is spectacular, gorgeous, clean, and there's a 21-year-old beautiful maid making up the bed. So he goes over, starts talking to her, and she's naked. Boom, they have a love affair. Unbelievable. The old guy hello.
Yeah.
The old guy finishes.
It's funnier in the afternoon.
Yeah,
The old guy hey, listen. The old guy finishes, gets up, walks toward the door, and falls down on his hands and knees. A male orderly walks by naked, sees him on the ground, and goes in and has a little love affair with him.
Bobby,
the old guy gets up, stumbles downstairs, and says, can I have my clothes back, please? He said, sure, Mr. Brandmeier, what's the problem? Didn't you like our place? He says, no. You see, at my age, I can get sexually excited maybe once every 6 months. Unfortunately, I tend to fall down 3 times a day.
Super.
Did I tell you about the old father who goes into his daughter's bedroom?
Bobby, no. Bobby doesn't have any time.
Oh, let's hear a joke from Bobby.
Okay, Bobby, your turn. Come on, you did the Tonight Show. Who did the Tonight Show more, Super or Bobby?
I might have. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, okay.
I did it, I don't know, I think I did it 23 times.
23 times?
What about you, Super Dave Osborne?
You did it 23 times?
You heard Bobby Goldsboro. You heard him. Come back, my man. Bring it on home, Super.
23 times
you
did the
heard
Tonight Show?
You heard him. You got it. 2-3. Negatory on your part. Did he beat you or didn't you?
Yeah, he beat me.
How many did you do?
About 15.
15. Well, you're ahead of all of us here.
23 times.
Yeah.
All you got to do is one full week in a day or two more, and you got it.
All right. Now, Bobby, it's your turn for a joke.
Bobby?
Uh-huh.
It's Bobby's turn for a joke. Bobby's turn for a joke.
Yeah, but I can add. He doesn't have to tell me how many times it takes to get to 23.
I hate when Goldsboro and Super Dave fight. That's one of the big showbiz feuds.
All right, Bobby's got a joke.
All right,
No,
go ahead.
I wasn't prepared. I'm not a good joke teller. I'm a good
Yes,
listener.
you are.
I'm the
All
greatest.
country people tell the best jokes.
Right.
You want to know the truth?
When you
Who tell
perform.
the best jokes?
You know who was really funny is Roger Miller. He was very
Roger, one of the funniest men that ever
Yes, he
lived.
was. Yeah, and a great guy.
Yeah.
You know, that's what gets me. Recently, I mean, with Roger was one of the first guys that I ever got with when I got out to L.A., one of the guys that helped me get started and all of this, and I used to stay out at his house and all of this. He was a great guy, and when this happened recently, I'm doing all the music for Evening Shade now. And
Oh, great.
I was out in L.A. doing this.
Hey,
and
Super,
I got a
that was
call.
very sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic.
All right, well, you better not be.
Why do you butt in and put your nose into someone's sentence?
Dave, isn't that your best?
I am not being sarcastic.
Dave,
I
that's
like
Dave's
that show.
favorite show. Isn't
I
it?
like the show.
That's your favorite
What do you
show.
want me
I know
to
it is.
say?
All right, stop it. I'm sorry.
So anyway, I was doing this, out working on the music, and my wife called out and said they're doing a tribute to Roger Miller on Nashville Now. Did you, or on the Nashville Network or something? Said, did anything happen? I said, well, no. He's written some great songs. They're doing a tribute. I turned on the TV, and they were telling a funny story about Roger, and I just turned the TV back off. I said, yeah, they're just talking about his music. And this was several days after Roger had died. I didn't even know
I know. Very seriously, it was like
Very
immediate
sudden.
and silent.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah,
sudden.
he was a great guy and very funny.
One of the funniest guys I
Yeah.
ever met in my life. Wittiest guys and clever and great lyricist and a really good songwriter.
All
Just
right,
really...
now let's hear a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not a good joke teller.
Come on, one. But yeah, in your show, you must have done one joke.
I don't think you have to be in this crowd
No,
either.
no. Oh, you hear that, Super
Hey,
Dave?
was that who I think it was?
Yeah, it was Buzz.
Oh, boy.
Never got your cassette, did you?
Not yet.
You badmouth me.
Yeah.
You want to know why the mailman threw it away?
Yeah.
It never got to the mailbox. An older father walks into his daughter's bedroom.
Hey, what happened to Bobby Goldsboro's joke?
All right, go ahead.
I like Dave's jokes better.
He walks into his father's bedroom. An old senior father walks into his daughter's bedroom, sees a vibrator on the bed.
Oh, man.
Daughter comes out of the bathroom. He says to her, "What is going on? What is going on?" She says, "Look, Daddy, first of all, I'm 42 years old. Secondly, I still live at home. Third, I hate my job, and I don't have a man. I have to have a life." Father shrugs his shoulders and walks out of the bedroom. Next night, the daughter comes home from work. Father's sitting at the bar with a martini in one hand and the vibrator in the other. Daughter says, "Daddy, what are you doing?" He says, "What does it look like I'm doing? I'm having a drink with my son-in-law."
Uh-oh. Bruce had it.
Yeah.
I'm
Who's
having
this
a
guy?
drink with my son-in-law. All right, now, Bobby Goldsboro, instead of telling the joke, how about King of the Road for us, my friend? Do we say goodbye to Super Dave and his beautiful contribution to today's program?
I love Johnny B.
Listen, I know you're a drifter.
He's the best.
I'm sorry that Super Dave
Johnny
made
B
us.
is my favorite. I love him.
I'm sorry he made
I
you.
don't listen to him because I don't have a radio, but I love him.
Bobby, God
I
bless
never
you.
miss his show.
Thank you.
When are you coming back to Chicago,
How can I
Bobby?
be in the audience for the Johnny B radio show?
Remind me to have Super Dave here when you
How do
get
I
here.
get tickets?
Great.
Bye, Bobby.
Where do I get tickets?
All right. Hey, Bobby Goldsboro, you know what? Do you know? Now, he's hung up now. Do you know him?
Bobby Goldsboro?
Yeah.
I do now.
I love throwing people at you. You're just like playing tennis with
But
celebrities.
how do you do it so quickly?
I love when you play in tennis. It's like playing tennis with celebrities, and you're just the king of the volley. Boing, boing, they're coming at you. But you know what? You chickened out on Casey Kasem.
But I don't. Can I tell you something?
What?
I called you up to talk to you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Super, we've got to run.
Would you do me one more favor?
Yeah, we've got to run. We're
Make
busy.
that tennis sound effect again you just did.
Okay.
Boing, boing, you said.
No, I went.
No, you went boing, boing.
I did not. I went.
You said you volley
you're playing.
like boing, boing.
You volley like
That's better.
like that.
Better, yeah. When are you coming out here?
Tomorrow.
When are you coming out here?
I'm not going to tell you now.
I'm coming into Chicago this weekend. for
Okay,
Thanksgiving.
great. I'll be there next week then.
When are you off?
I'll call you.
When are you going to be back on the
Super,
air?
we have to go. No more jokes.
Why?
Because I think you ruined, I thought was a very beautiful tribute to a guy who wrote Honey the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I didn't know the guy, and I didn't know he died.
Yeah, and you don't care, do you? Because
I
you
do
live
care.
in your own little world where Fuji is nothing but a
You know,
taunt.
that's very untrue.
Super, we've got to run. Have a good day.
That's really not true.
Super, we love you.
Where are you going?
Bring Honey to the compound.
I've got honey all over me right now.
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast. This is the new, not normal.
An Arab's crawling across the desert, going, water, water, water. And he comes upon a Jewish tie salesman in the middle of the desert. And he says, water. The tie salesman says, you want a tie? He says, no, water. He said, all right, 40 miles to the west, there's an inn. They got water there. Arab leaves, crawling. Next day, 5 o'clock, Arab's crawling across the desert. His face is on fire. Water, water. Comes up to the tie salesman. He said, didn't you get water at the inn? He said, no, they wouldn't let me in without a tie.
Super Dave Osborne. All right. What up? What up, America? What up, world? Super Dave Osborne, the one and only. I don't know where he gets the jokes. I don't know when he tells the jokes, but whenever I see the great Super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, the brother to Albert Brooks, I swear to God, I know when I see him, whether it's on a television show, a film, he's going to come out and tell a joke. Now, I'm watching this Comedy Bang Bang show the other night, and there is the host, Scott Aukerman. Every week they misname him Steve Aukerslike, or they always say his name wrong. And he's sitting there and he's doing a show, and I see this old man, this guy dressed as this old, stumbled old vaudevillian man, gray hair, old beat-up sweater, and he walks out, and I go, oh, it's Super Dave. It's Super Dave Osborne. And I go, okay, I know what he's going to do now. He's going to tell a joke. Because he was a part of a comedy team. I think it was Wrinkleman and Irons. Get it? Wrinkleman and Irons. And then the host, Scott Aukerman, says, hey, why don't you tell a joke? And, of course, he tells a joke.
Want to hear a joke?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. That's it. Because, see, even remember when Super Dave went out on Seinfeld? He meets him in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He sees Jerry. And he just begins to tell him a joke, and Larry David's going, no, he doesn't want to hear a joke. So Super Dave always just volunteers a joke. He doesn't get asked to tell one, he just tells the joke.
Want to hear a joke?
Yeah, we want to hear a joke, right?
A woman takes a dog to the vet. She's got a Great Dane. Another woman's got a poodle. And the woman with the Great Dane said, what are you here for? She said, my poodle's in heat, and whenever I bend over, it's on my back, so I'm having him neutered. The woman with the Great Dane said, my dog has the same problem. She said, you having him neutered? She said, no, I'm having his nails cut.
Please, I have to leave a message for Super Dave. Please dial him up. I have to. I mean, something is drastically wrong with him, yet so beautifully right. And he has a lisp.
The other one's clean.
You say the other one's clean?
Yeah, the other part is beef, the best part, so it's good.
All right, this is Super Dave from Thursday's Comedy Bang Bang on IFC, and Hector has said this is fine.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you about
Remember, he's a character, but he's not playing Super Dave. He's playing Mr. Wrinkleman, a partner with the team Wrinkleman and Irons, the vaudeville comedy team, coming to visit Scott Aukerman on Comedy Bang Bang.
Did I ever tell you about the first movie I ever did with Marilyn Monroe? This woman was beautiful. And I went to her trailer and I said, look, would you mind if I put my private part on your knee? And she said, Harvey, do me a favor, sweetheart, and get the out of my trailer.
Did you ever get her, Marilyn?
No, I was involved with the wives of the Platters. It was a great time in those days because the Platters were always working on the road, and I would take care of their wives.
Did you ever make a record with them?
5 of them at once? 100 times? That's a record. That's not going to be broken, my friend.
So now we know that Super Dave went with the wives of the Platters instead of the Marilyn Monroe.
Turn around.
What are you talking? What is Scott? What was I on?
Super, I'm telling you, Super dialing us back, the great Super Dave, Comedy Bang Bang. I'm watching this guy, was telling the audience, I'm watching the show, and I see this this guy, what's his name, Wrinkleman?
Wrinkleman, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
You know who it is. Wrinkleman. So he comes out and he tells this joke about and I go, look, it's Super Dave. This is going to be great. He's going to tell a joke. And sure enough, there he walks in. He's waiting, and nobody wants to hear a joke when Super Dave comes out. He just volunteers it.
Yes, go ahead.
Want to hear a joke?
Yeah, we want to hear a joke, right?
A woman takes a dog to the vet. She's got a Great Dane. Another woman's got a poodle. And the woman with the Great Dane said, "What are you here for?" She said, "My poodle's in heat. And whenever I bend over, it's on my back, so I'm having him neutered." The woman with the Great Dane said, "My dog has the same problem." She said, "You having him neutered?" She said, "No, I'm having his nails cut."
Super, and with the lisp, Super, it really makes it so much better.
I know. I was trying to be an old man.
Yeah, that's great. So do you say to
What was
Ackerman?
What was that on?
That was on
Why
Thursday.
Was that on?
It was on Thursday night on IFC, and I'm watching. I was just fascinated by the whole thing, and then the Marilyn Monroe story, and you're dating all the Platters women. And, oh God, it was so. You didn't even know it was on?
No, I don't even know what it is.
Comedy Bang Bang. It's a show on IFC. You were on it Thursday.
Why was I on it?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Who knows why I was on Comedy Bang Bang? I don't even know what that is.
And you kept calling the guy Steve and Seymour. And his name was... I mean, I'm telling you, every time, I don't know where these jokes come from. Here's what Buzz said before you came on again. He goes, when Super Dave tells a joke, he really loves his joke. And you can feel it in your voice that you want to tell it.
You can feel that you believe this joke that you are currently telling is the funniest joke in the world at this very moment.
But it is.
And that's infectious.
If I texted it to you, you'd throw your phone against the wall.
Right. Yeah, I'd say, what's he texting me this joke? I mean, the fact that he starts out a line like...
Did I ever tell you about the first movie I ever did?
Well, you can see the Scott Aukerman on Comedy Bang Bang. By the way, you can watch Super Dave as his character, I don't know what it was, Mr. Wrinkleman from Wrinkleman and Iron, the comedy duo. Comedy Bang Bang replays on demand. It was this past Thursday. You can see Caitlyn Jenner's and you can see Super Dave with no feet on the cover of Vanity Fair. But I mean, that's it. So Super...
No, wait, I'm going to tell you a joke, but I'm not going to get off yet. I'm not through.
Go.
Okay.
Tell the joke.
A man and a woman grow up with a similar problem. He's got the worst smelling feet in the world, and she has the worst smelling breath. And the two of them, their whole life, are so humiliated they walk around looking at the sidewalk. One day they bump into each other. They look into each other's eyes and love hits. They start skipping down the street. They go to the first hotel. They said, where's the honeymoon suite? They said, it's 5 floors up there. We don't need an elevator. We'll skip up the stairs. They go upstairs. They come to the door. He says, sweetheart, you go to the bathroom, get ready. I'll go to my bathroom, get ready. I'll meet you under the covers in 5 minutes. So she goes into the bathroom and does her nightly ritual. She gargles with pool chlorine. And he's in there soaking his feet in acid. All of a sudden, the doors open, and they fly under the covers. He grabs her face. He said, my darling. She said, sweetheart, before we kiss, I have a secret to tell you. He said, I already know, my darling. You ate my socks.
Yes,
When you deal with crazy people, they say crazy things.
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast. This is the new Not Normal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to introduce a champion. Do it, Ricky! Turkey champion! Here's the turkey calling champion. Here's Ricky Joe Bishop. Do it again, Ricky. It's beautiful. Now, you know who that reminds me of?
What's that?
Yeah, Super Dave Osborne. You ever see that stunt guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is something, isn't he?
Right.
Isn't he something?
Yeah.
I mean, he does these stunts and they never work.
Johnny, let me ask you a question.
Super Dave, you know who that is you're talking to?
Who?
And I would like some respect.
Who is it?
Ricky Joe Bishop, the national turkey calling champion.
You're kidding me.
Call for him. Call him.
It was the Wild Turkey Bourbon Grand National Championship.
How did you get Ricky Joe?
Hey, well, listen, I got to tell you something. I've been fighting a lot of people to get him.
Hey, that's right. Jay Leno called Monday.
You hear that? Jay Leno call. Do the call when the turkey is angry. Do that call, Ricky.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do the fighting part.
Yeah, really loud.
When two get into
Where's
fight.
Ricky from?
He's from Manchester, Georgia.
Is this Ricky making this noise?
Yes, it's Ricky making the noise.
That's a human being making that noise?
Do it again, Ricky. Show him.
The fighting part when you're mad.
Yeah.
Ricky, I want you on my show.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Just when two gobblers are fitting to go at it.
Ricky,
Ricky, when did you first start doing this?
Probably about 6 years ago.
And has anyone ever said, gee, that's unusual to start that?
Well,
As a
down here, there's a lot of contests and a lot of people.
Where are you from?
Manchester, Georgia.
Manchester, Georgia?
Right. We're fixing to get that down on the map.
Are you married?
To his sister?
Right.
Now, does your wife make noises like that?
No, she's getting pretty fed up listening to it.
I bet she took the mirror away above your bed, too.
Hey, Super Dave, you know, it's so funny because Ricky was showing me off there kind of some of the different calls. And, Ricky, see if this is a good one. This is supposed to be the mating call of the gobbler returning the answer to
I know what this is going to be. You know what?
Yeah, so
I
you know.
knew
Yeah.
I knew that.
Back to you again, huh, with your little
I
gas
was
choke.
sure of that for you.
Right.
What is this? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, bang. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
Ricky, would you like to answer that in Georgia?
He's got me stumped.
It's an Amish drive-by shooting. Ricky, let me tell you something.
Hey, Super Dave, would you like to hear my interview?
Next time Leno calls, take him up on it.
Hey, Super Dave.
It's a much easier shot than this. I'm not beyond that. There's no idiot sports guy. Nothing.
Super.
What?
Super, would you like to hear it? We had another exclusive today. I know you're wondering, how did I land Ricky Joe Bishop? But listen, we had an exclusive.
Ricky Joe, I want you on my show in Vegas. What do you look like?
I'm 6'3" and handsome.
Hey, Super, I'm going to put him on
I'm
hold.
not interested if you're handsome or 6'3".
Yeah, hey, believe me, Ricky.
I don't resemble a turkey.
You do?
I don't.
Oh, all right.
Ricky, that's what he's going for.
We may
He
have
wants
to
to know
put
if
you
you're
in
good.
a costume then.
You've never heard
voices
the...
are fabulous.
Come on, you know
Do you have
Super
any children?
Dave.
One little boy.
Does he think you're unusual?
He's trying to do turkey calls already.
He is?
18 months old.
Well, I've never heard anyone that good in my life. Are
That
you
is
the grand
fantastic.
champion?
I'm the
Super Dave, shut
Wild
up!
Turkey Bourbon Grand National Champion.
And what did you win
I won the National Championship.
We're going to get Peggy
And
Lee
my
on the
phone's
phone.
been ringing off the hook ever since.
We're getting Peggy Lee on the phone in 5 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
Because I want you...
You know, I love these stupid threats.
Hey, Super Dave.
What?
You know what? It was really interesting that Ricky Joe's going to be on your show, and we want to watch that because that's going to be great. Hey, you know what, Ricky? Hold on. I'm going to put you in touch with Super Dave. Do us the good bike. Let's say a turkey has just had sex, and he's walking away out into the woods, and he's just heard Super Dave's clop joke, and he's walking out.
He's smoking a cigarette, right?
And how does
He's got a cigarette, and he's putting on his shorts.
How does that sound?
It would probably go, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the Kiki run.
All right. That sounds like Fuji.
Say it bye-bye.
I can't believe you do this.
Fuji and Super Dave in the
that is
shower.
fantastic.
The Jonathan Brandmeier Showcast. This is the new Not Normal.
Paging Norm Macdonald. Paging Norm Macdonald. Please come down to the studios. Norm Macdonald, please.
Hey, Johnny. Nice to see you, pal.
The one and only Norm Macdonald.
Super Dave Osborne on the line.
I was going to ask you to phone Super Dave.
That's right. How's it going, Super Dave?
Hey,
Happy birthday, Norm.
Is it my birthday?
It's tomorrow your birthday.
It's your birthday. That's why I'm calling.
Super
you know
Dave.
what I got you? A picture of Sarah Palin's husband.
Oh.
And I had to make the X very big.
That's good.
Oh, no one asked you to comment what's good. You know how funny this guy is?
Yeah, I do.
First
First of all, Norm is the funniest man in the world, and he's a great father, but he's impossible to get a hold of.
I just got a hold of him.
Yeah, but he never calls you back. You leave messages, and he never calls you back.
No, we got to get together, though, man.
No. You always say that, and we always do, and we never do.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, Super Dave? This will pay. Now it makes perfect sense to me. I hear this about you, Norm. That Super Dave, I don't believe he's telling. I don't think he's embellishing. I think he's telling the truth.
No, I am telling the truth. Let me tell you something. How old are you going to be tomorrow?
46.
He doesn't have a driver's license.
He doesn't drive. Now,
what does that say to you?
A lot of people are like that.
I heard that he has not spoken to his own brother in 5 years.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, sometimes you take a break.
No, wait. True or false? Have you spoken to your brother? You have two brothers, right?
Yeah.
One of them is in Canada. Both are in Canada, right?
One's in Washington. One's in Canada.
You have not spoken to your brother. Is it Neil, is it?
What are you telling me?
Is it true or false? Is it true or false? We're talking with Norm Macdonald, actor, writer, producer, stand-up comedian. Super Dave Osborne one time said, I can never get him to return calls. His brother Neil Macdonald, who lives in a farm town in Quebec City, says he has never returned his calls in 5 years.
That's ridiculous.
Is that true, Neil?
Listen, I'm a Canadian reporter living in Washington, D.C. I'm used to not getting my calls returned.
Yeah, Neil, how you doing?
That's your brother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Super Dave, his brother, Neil, answer the question so Super Dave will not feel bad. Neil, have you spoken to Norm, your brother, in the last 5 years?
I haven't spoken to Norm in a long time. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get your calls returned.
Wait, Super Dave. See, I always think Super Dave's kind of lying.
So Super Dave's first name is Super?
Yes.
So, like, if I called myself Great Neil, you'd have to call me.
You know, Neil, there's a reason he hasn't talked to you in 5 years. Because you bore the living crap out of him. Now, let me tell you this. The Queen of England is walking with an administrator in the hospital.
What?
I said the Queen of England is walking with an administrator in a hospital. She walks by a room, and a man is masturbating. She said, oh, my God, what's going on? He said, well, he has a problem. It's a physical problem, and if he doesn't do that 5 times a day, he could explode and die. She said, oh, I'm sorry. Then they go to the second floor, where she walks by a room, a nurse is giving a man oral sex. She says, oh, my God, what's wrong? He said, he's got the same problem as a guy on one, but better insurance.
All right.
No, but if that was in Canada, the government would provide it.
See that? You know who should hook him?
Norm, wait another 5 years. I'm telling you, if that's what he does, if he comes back with that Canadian crap, don't talk to him.
Now, listen, here's what I want to know. I want to know how a guy, you're 46, are you, Norm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know how a guy who was born 46 years ago in Quebec City and grew up in the same house I did acquired a Brooklyn accent. What the hell? Where'd that come from?
Oh.
Do I have a Brooklyn accent?
I don't know, but your brother now is dogging you. Super Dave is correct.
And I'm seeing him on Bill O'Reilly. Norman is one of the 37 Americans left who still think George Bush is doing a great job.
Wow.
I do?
No wonder you haven't talked to your brother in 5 years.
No, I think...
Someone just drop an anchor off the boat. Weren't we sailing in comedy heaven and someone came on and just dropped the Canadian anchor?
Listen, I'm not a professional comedian. I'm very funny, though. I'm a very funny guy.
Yeah, well, why don't you show it? What are you waiting for? How old are you?
No, I think George Bush is terrible.
Wait, let's go here.
No, George Bush is not terrible. Terrible is one thing. George Bush has to climb up to be terrible.
Super Dave Osborne with us.
What do you want?
Norm Macdonald in the studio, and his brother Neil just joined us.
Do you have any other family members that can really make this a party?
Listen, it's great. It's great being on the same line with you there, Super. I watch you on Larry David. I think it's pretty funny.
Oh, then I like you. I take it.
Oh,
look at that. He loves him on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and now he's a fan.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
Big fan of Neil Macdonald's, are you?
I can tell you how to get
back down another 5 years.
I can tell you how to get the CBC's news show online there, Super. You can watch it on your computer. I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much. Are you a sheltered person like Norm is?
No.
But you know what? Can I say something about Norm that no one knows?
I spend all my days trying to get people to call me back here. I mean, I'm one of these ignored.
Quiet down, Neil. I'm talking.
Super Dave is talking.
Great father.
No, Super Dave is yelling.
I'm telling you that. Well, how else am I going to make my point? Norm is a great father. I don't know if you know that. I'm serious.
I do. I know. Dylan's a great boy. He looks a lot like Norm did when he was young. That same sort of angelic blonde thing going there, you know.
Okay, take over the show, and I'll quiet down. Let's see what happens.
Just a second once.
See if Johnny,
yeah, go ahead.
Johnny loses the call letters totally.
No, but super.
What?
Neil actually lives in Washington. He doesn't live in Canada.
I'm going to Canada in 2 weeks.
But he lives in Washington.
I haven't lived in Canada for 10 years.
Why do you live in Washington?
Because I'm a foreign correspondent for Canadian television.
Oh, that's a good job.
Yeah, Norm, that is right, Super Dave. It is a good job.
I said it's a good job.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
You didn't mean it.
I did mean it. You know, no one asked you to interpret for me.
I'm just kidding.
This is not the match game, my friend.
The match game with Super Dave Osborne. The match game. Neil Macdonald, Washington, D.C. Norm's older brother is a blank.
Hey, Norm, why don't you call me back?
Is a blank. Super Dave, he is a blank.
Norm, why don't you call? Hey, Berta says happy birthday, too. Why don't you call me back?
Oh, give my love to Berta, man. We'll go eat.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll talk about your brother.
Yeah, Super Dave said he's going to go eat with me like 90 years ago. I've never even met him.
Oh, no kidding. He always says that. That's his line.
Very fair.
That's Super's line.
No, it is
Let's
fair.
go eat, and then you never get a dinner. You're like Red Buttons, you know?
Yeah, that's right. And Red Buttons is dead, Norm.
You're like Red Buttons.
Red Buttons was waiting for Super to fucking...
Right.
And I never got a dinner.
You know what's funny?
What?
It's not funny. It's not funny.
I'm hurting and I'm angry.
Americans are hurting right now, and they're angry. They're hurting and they're angry.
We're hurting.
They're angry.
We're angry?
They're hurting.
I'm hurting?
Americans, all right.
I'm hurting.
They're angry.
And I'm angry. We are. We're all hurting and we're angry by all of this.
You know, Norm and I were going to do a radio show.
That's right.
But then Neil wouldn't be a part of it, so we said no.
Neil, why don't you help those guys out with their radio show? Norm, Super Dave, and Neil Macdonald.
Yeah, that's just what they need.
They do. Hey, listen, do you want to say happy birthday to your brother here?
Yeah,
you know, Neil sounds like a good guy. How come you never call him?
Yeah, why don't you ever call your brother? Norm, it's terrible. That's terrible.
No, I'm going to start texting.
No, what?
You do that.
Wait.
I hate that so much.
I want to be clear.
He doesn't have a cell phone. That's nonsense.
You hate texting?
I hate texting. I hate it. I hate people walking around staring at their hand.
Welcome to the 21st century, buddy.
It is.
Yeah, come on.
I love texting.
Yeah.
You know why?
Texting?
It's very quick. Right to the point. Get to the point.
What's wrong with talking?
That's too much trouble. Too much trouble. Norm, wait a minute. You don't have a computer, do you? Or you don't drive a car?
No, I don't.
You don't have a computer?
I have a computer, but I don't...
Little kid walking down the hall of his house.
Yeah?
He's screaming in his parents' bedroom. Opens the door. There's his father dressed only in chaps. His mother's dressed in a cheerleading outfit, no underwear. They're really having fun. He says, Daddy, what's going on? He said, oh, don't worry, sweetheart. We're just having fun. Go back to bed. I'll be down there and tuck you in a minute. 20 minutes later, father walks down the hall. He hears screaming in the kid's bedroom. Opens the door. There's his kid having sex with his grandmother. He says, Billy, what are you doing? He said, it's not so funny when it's your mother, is it?
The stylings of Super Dave Osborne in studio. Norm Macdonald, his brother Neil Macdonald on tour together sometime very soon. Norm Macdonald's birthday.
I thought comedians were supposed to do witty repartee and not tell jokes.
Ooh. That's Neil Macdonald talking to Super Dave right now. Once again, the question, Neil Macdonald is a blank.
May I say something?
Oh, that's the old match game stuff. Norm used to sit in front of the television and watch match games.
I've been in this business a while, and I've never heard anybody say what he just said. I've never heard anybody say witty. Even in class, when I was a class clown,
what about the witty badinage?
The teacher never stopped me like that. I've heard witty repartee before, but that's a silent.
No, but aren't you supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
Wait a minute. Neil said a word. Wait.
Bring this thing right off the air. If you got anybody listening, I'll just stop it.
Neil, I heard you say something that I hadn't heard ever. Would you say that last line again that Super Dave was talking about?
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage? You know, the witty back and forth. What happened to that?
Badinage is like a badminton term.
I said you weren't listening at the first part of the show when I did my repartee badinage. Whatever the hell you're talking about.
Badinage. But Norm, it was so funny. Norm, as a real friend, you tried to explain to me in the studio, he was going like, it's like a badminton game. You know,
it is a badminton term originally, yeah.
Now, why did you say badminton?
Yeah, Neil Macdonald, Norm's brother, why didn't you say badminton? Make it easy for us.
No, badinage is a badminton term.
A tournament. Yeah. Badinage.
No, I'm actually funnier than Norman. He's just got the professional kit.
Do you think that's why you haven't called each other back? Is that why there's some hatred
I was
there?
reluctant to come on this show because I'm going to get a lot of calls now, you know.
Neil Macdonald, Washington, D.C., Norm's older brother, called to wish Norm a happy birthday, didn't you?
Although, you know what, Norm? I saw Bob Dole the other day. The guy that you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you did the great impression of.
That was a compliment he just gave you.
No, it was a great impression.
Yes, it was a great impression of Bob Dole that Norm did.
Yeah.
Norm is hysterical. I'm going to go to Zany's. How do I get there?
All right, here's how you get to Zany's. You go to Zany's, there's Super Day. Norm will be there.
And Norm's brother Neil will be at a badminton event.
Neil, say goodbye to Norm.
Goodbye, Norm.
Say goodbye to Super Dave. Hey, by the way,
again in a few years.
Wait a second now. See, tell him you'll call him back.
Sure, man. I'll call.
No, you won't.
Of course.
Will you?
Yes.
All right. Well, can I give Super Dave Neil's number?
Yeah.
Oh, just don't do that.
What am I going to call Neil for? You know, what am I going to do? I'm in a good mood. I don't want to blow the whole thing.
No, he can call me up and we can trade barbs, you know.
We're at an all-time low in world opinion, and I'm going to call Neil to pep me up.
He just said,
"Hey, Neil, how you doing? What's your badminton term today? What's your term of the day that I can take with me all day and pep me up?"
No. Call me anytime.
I am going to give Super Dave.
Neil.
I'm giving you the number. He said
Neil ought to be on Match Game.
He's the Match Game. Neil ought to be on Match Game. Hey, he said, by the way.
I'll take Neil to win.
He said,
he's a super
what did the cat say when it came out of the pet shop going meow?
What did what?
No, he's going to tell a joke now. Go ahead. It's going to be good.
Norm, you know what? I don't know how you wound up funny. That's all I can tell you. I have no concept. You must have run away from home when you were 3. Do you have any other funny brothers and sisters? Get them all on the phone. We could destroy Brandmeier forever.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to hear the joke, man.
Go ahead, Neil.
Come on, Super. Tell me the joke.
You have a joke, Neil?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
No, he said, do you have a joke, Neil?
No, I'm not telling Neil another joke.
No,
would have to pay me.
All right, Neil.
Yeah, I do. I got one.
Tuesday. Come and pay him.
I got one.
No, wait.
A priest is checking into a hotel, and he says to the woman behind the counter, I assume the porn channel in my room is disabled. And she says, no, it's regular porn, you sick bastard.
The comedy stylings of Neil Macdonald, Norm's older brother, Super Dave Osborne, blown off the map today by that. Wow. Hey, Super, let me hear you.
I have a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Norm's got a joke. Wait a minute. Here we go. Go.
A dog walks into a telegraph office where they send telegrams. Telegram office, right? And so the guy says, "Okay, what do you want your telegram to read?" So the dog goes, "Woof, woof, 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 woof." And then the guy goes, "Oh, I notice you have 9 words. Do you want to put an extra woof like it's for free?" And then the dog goes, "No, that wouldn't make any sense."
You know,
I love Norm Macdonald. I gotta tell you, I love him. Because he'll do that at the dinner table too. Hey, here's one. A guy's having trouble with his wife, so he calls his best. Hey, Neil, are you off the phone?
Neil, will you get off the phone so Super can tell his joke?
I just finished writing down that great porn joke, Neil. I won't have to put my finger in my mouth if I get sick to my stomach anymore.
I told you I'm not a professional.
Now. A guy's having trouble with his wife, so he calls his best friend. He said, "You got to meet me at a bar. I got to talk to you." So they go to a bar. He starts drinking. He drinks so much he throws up in his shirt. He says, "Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go home. She's going to scream and she's probably going to hit me." His friend says, "Don't worry about a thing. Tell her you had one drink. The guy next to you overdrank, got sick, and threw up in your shirt. And to prove it, he put $10 in your pocket to get it clean. I'm putting $10 right in there." He said, "You're brilliant." He goes home. He says, "I'm home." She comes downstairs and starts screaming at him. He said, "Listen to me.
I had one drink, but a guy at the bar got sick, threw up on my shirt, and to prove it, he put $10 in my pocket to get it clean. She reaches in, she says, there's $20 here. He says, I know. He also crapped in my pants.
Super Dave Osborne. Super Dave Osborne. And Norm Macdonald in the studio and his fabulously funny brother Neil Macdonald in Washington, D.C., award-winning journalist. Neil.
Okay, hey, and Norm, happy birthday. You're the greatest. Good luck at Zanies, and I hope that we get together.
Oh, you're going to hang up again?
No, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a second. You know what I would love to do? I would love to do some more badinage.
He's a great Canadian. Norm's a great Canadian. He'll probably be mad at me for saying that.
Let's do some badinage.
He's a great Canadian.
What is badinage?
Are Canadians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
What did you say, Super?
Who cares if he's a great Canadian?
Oh, Super Dave worked in Canada?
I worked for 12 years in Canada. I'm a great Canadian.
Neil, that's a point you could answer. What is the big deal if he is a good Canadian?
What was he doing in Canada, running around in that weird flight suit?
Super Dave was working in Canada.
I did Bizarre, which was the first series in the history of cable, and then I did Super Dave. Yeah, I was running around in that weird flight suit, A-Wipe. That's what I was doing.
Is that his Arab name, A-Wipe?
While you were sitting at home going, what? What is that? Why aren't I watching the Canadian news?
That sounded like Rickles.
I know, I did for a minute.
While you were at home going,
I'm sorry, I got to do it.
While you were at home
Let me apologize. I said I'm sorry.
While you were at home sitting with a rake going, bah.
I said I'm sorry.
I know, but Norm said that was very Rickle-ish. I
said I'm sorry.
He said,
what do you want me to do?
Neil,
I got caught up.
Oh.
Let me explain something to you. Neil can bring things out of you don't normally do.
That's right.
Okay?
Right. Yeah. You know what, guys?
If I was captured, I'd rather have bamboo under my fingernails than have Neil come in and talk to me.
No, if I was captured, I'd want to be in a room with Super Dave. I would.
I just love this.
I just think it's interesting that Neil worked in Washington.
Yes.
Which was in the United States, while Super Dave worked in Canada.
Isn't that interesting, Super?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's quite an observation there, Norm.
You were both countries away from each other while you. This is probably the way you're going to stay now, isn't it?
I want to know why Norm told all those weird jokes at the Bob Saget roast. Like, what was going on there?
Those were great jokes. Did you see?
You don't understand your own brother.
No,
you don't understand your own brother.
What jokes are we talking about?
Now, but Bob has a beautiful face like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower. No offense, but
you know what's amazing?
Yeah, what?
May I say something? May I say one thing? What is amazing about Johnny B, and I've always found this, you can call him out of the blue, and all of a sudden, boom, there you are on some show. I mean, he's insane.
Well, he brought it up. He brought up the roast.
Can I ask you a question? Are you still on the air, or do we call you at home?
No, I'm at my house.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Norm, I didn't tell you this is where I live.
Is this?
Yeah, we're not even doing. You don't mind, right?
No, this is fine.
Okay,
man.
cool. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, you guys. We're not even going to be on the air.
What night are you going to be at Zanies?
What night are you going to be at Zanies?
Tonight and tomorrow and Saturday.
I think he's still.
And are you on the road now? When do you come home?
I come home in 12 or 14 days, I think.
Where do you go after Zanies?
I go.
I'm going to be on Canadian television tonight. Almost like you don't care.
No, we care. We love Canada. We love it. What time are you going to be on, Neil Macdonald, Norm's brother?
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern.
On
Canadian.
the National.
They're on the Canadian National Television. Yeah. Super. You got satellite dish?
Yeah, I got a satellite dish.
Well, you might want to watch that.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, you might want to.
I really might. There's a lot of things I might want to do.
You know what I would love?
I'm going to be doing a piece on the economy there, Super.
Oh, well, that ought to be quick. What are you going to say? It's not so bad.
No, I'm going to say
this is worse than 1929. In case you're interested.
No, I'm going to say that after spending 5 years in this country, being told that I'm from a socialist nation, I'm going to be talking about how the United States government is nationalizing banks and taking over companies and putting trillions of dollars of public money into bailouts. Nothing socialist about that, right?
No, that's interesting. Now, here's the thing. When I did my shows in Canada, the Canadian dollar was 63 cents.
and now it's more than the American dollar.
You mean when you were just running around with that crazy suit on?
Oh, you know what, Johnny B?
What?
That did it.
What? No, wait a minute.
That did it. That was your farewell thing to me, and that's it. I'm going now, and I'm going to take my clothes off and play badminton.
Neil's badmintage. Neil, say goodbye to Super Dave. Neil's say goodbye to Super Dave.
All right, Super.
Goodbye, Neil. Are you leaving?
Nice talking to you, buddy.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going.
He wants to.
But we got to keep in touch, you and I. I think we're friends now.
He wants to hear you hang up.
What?
He wants to hear you. Neil, he wants to hear you hang up. So go ahead.
I'm not hanging up.
No, Neil is.
Oh,
all right, Norm. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, man. You too.
Take it easy.
By the way, do you remember your brother Neil?
5 years.
Yeah. He doesn't even remember his brother Neil. His brother Neil.
Norm Macdonald, this is your life.
Wow. Oh, man. Hey, Super.
What?
You know, what's that one joke?
What's that joke that Super about the bus driver and the
That's the greatest.
Wait, and I have another request, too. Okay, tell me the bus driver one. But then I have one more.
That's a little rough right before Neil.
No, Neil's gone now.
Oh.
Neil's gone now.
All right. Well, it's a rough joke. I mean, I'm not happy with it, but a bus driver, it's kind of visual.
I'm not happy with it. He hasn't even told it yet. No.
But it's visual.
Norm Macdonald in the studio, Super Dave Osborne on the line, and Neil Macdonald, his brother, gone now.
Okay, a bus driver's on a bus with a passenger at the back, and a woman gets on. And he looks at the woman.
I can't believe you're telling this joke.
I'm not going to tell it. I'm not telling it.
Not telling it. It's
no, wait a minute. There's no way. No, you must tell this joke now.
I can't.
Yes.
No. It's a little rough.
Just we'll work around it.
No, we can't. I'm happy with what Neil did, and I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, no, wait. Norm shaking his head. Well,
I'm just saying there's no bad language in it at all.
No, there's no bad language, but the thought of it is not too good at the morning.
Let's just try to go forward with it.
I think I'll save this for the next time Neil calls.
No, we can't. That will never happen.
Sorry, he was doing it, and I interrupted. I shouldn't have.
No, we want to hear.
He was doing the joke.
I made a mistake. Let's talk about match game.
No. I want. Come on, right now, new Super Dave. Let's hear the joke. Come on, I'll get a pumped up. Hey, everybody, who wants to hear Super Dave? Yeah, me too. Yeah, Super Dave. Yeah, it's time for Super Dave. Tell us the joke, Super Dave. Come on, we're excited now.
No. I've given you enough today that'll last you a lifetime.
For my birthday.
But wait, no. Hear what Norm said.
Wait. Want to know why?
Super. What? He said for his birthday. He requests the bus joke.
I will call him later and give him the joke. I'm not doing it on the air because I find it at this time offensive. Thank you.
Please, Super Dave, please.
I can't do it. It's a great one, though.
It's a guy on a bus so far. That's what I got.
I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it.
Okay, there's a guy on a bus.
I'm not doing it.
Norm, you do it then.
I can't remember. That's the problem, or I would do it.
You remember it.
Come on.
You remember it. That ain't going to work.
Give us a hint. Okay, I'll tell you what. How about this? How about if Norm goes first with another request I have because it's October, it's Halloween time. Tell that pumpkin joke. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You tell
the pumpkin joke?
Yeah, you told the pumpkin joke once to me, and
Norm
I still don't get it.
Listen to me. Was Norm the greatest guy on Saturday Night Live with the news ever?
Okay, I will tell you without question the greatest guy that ever did SNL.
Oh, I know the joke.
Tell the joke.
The guy that has the wishes.
Yes. Yeah. Tell that joke.
Oh man, how did that go? The genie comes to him and says, "You have." Oh no.
See, Super Dave. He's
trying at least. Around.
All right, I'll tell you a joke.
A guy's walking around with a pumpkin.
Well, wait.
Super, I got it now.
Super, wait. Super, wait a minute. Super, go ahead.
There's a black man, a Jewish man, a Mexican man, and a bigot. And the black man reaches out of the park bench, there's an old lamp, and he rubs it, and a genie pops out. She says, "Oh, my God, I've been in there for 2,000 years. I'll grant each one of you any wish you want." And the black man said, "I would like all the black people to be able to go live in Africa in the beauty of that land in peace and harmony and wealth and have no problems." Boom, gone. Says to the Mexican gentleman, "You're next." He said, "I would like the same thing. I would like all the Mexicans to be able to go to Mexico and live in the beauty of that land without peace." And she, boom, you got it. "You're next." And who was the other one?
It was a...
Jewish gentleman.
Jewish
I'd
yes.
like all the Jews to be able to go to Israel and live in the beauty of that land. Same way. Boom, you got it. She said, "Let me get this straight. All the
the Jews in Israel, all the black people are in Africa, all the Mexicans are in Mexico? She said, yes. He said, I'll have a Diet Coke.
It's Super Dave Osborne. Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, tell me the pumpkin joke
So
now.
the guy has a pumpkin head, and his friend goes, What happened to your head? It's a giant pumpkin. And then the guy goes, well, because I met a genie, and he came up to me. Are you listening?
I'm listening. You super?
He came up to me, the genie, and I rubbed the lamp, and a genie came out. And then the genie said, you have 3 wishes. So the guy goes, hey, he goes, so I told the genie my first wish was to have all the money in the world, $1 million. And so the genie gave me $1 million. And then he says, what's your second wish? The genie said to the guy. And then the guy said, oh, I want a beautiful woman to make love with. And then so the genie gives him that. And so then he says, what'd you do for your third wish? He goes, that's where I really screwed it up. I wish for a giant pumpkin head.
See what I mean, Super Dave? That's how you tell a joke. You tell a joke like that. There he is once again, Norm Macdonald. Super, that's how. Super Dave Osborne. Tell Norm happy birthday. Tell Norm happy birthday. Can you believe that's the craziest line I've ever heard from a man? I got to be honest with you. I've never heard a man say this.
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
That's the craziest line I've ever heard a man speak in my whole life.
Ever in my life, except in an institution.
No, I've never.
Yes, if you were walking around staring at the floor, and this guy said one thing a day, and that's what he said.
But the weirdest thing was the way he says it, right?
Aren't
He goes,
comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
and then Norm looks at me completely seriously with not a smile on your face, Norm, and you go like this. Oh, it's like badminton. Yeah, it's like.
Well, it means back and forth.
Yeah.
To explain it.
Yeah, I'm looking at him like.
People are jumping overboard, and he's trying to explain
The badinage. I couldn't believe you were like so calmly going, oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if you were with Neil on a balloon trip over France?
Hey, Neil, look at that. Goodbye, Neil. I would shove your brother over. No offense, but I would shove your brother out of a balloon.
No, he's a good man.
He seems like a good man.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Hey, Super, you and his brother got to get together, spend some time together, and really.
We're definitely going to do that.
You should pitch a show to somebody. I think you got a lot of camaraderie there.
We could do it. The 3 of us.
The Badinage Show.
And you know what? Neil would say one thing a day. It would be Neil's moment.
It's time now for Neil's moment. Here he is now.
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
There it is. Neil's moment. Don't forget the Badinage Show.
That'll be all over the YouTube.
Oh, yes, that'll be hot. Say happy birthday to Norm now.
Happy birthday. Berta says happy birthday. Teddy says happy birthday. And Lori Joe says happy birthday, and we hope to see you soon, but we know we won't because we'll call and you won't return our call.
You better return his call, Norm.
Yeah, why don't we have go to dinner?
Yeah.
But that's what I say, and then all I get is that stupid.
You like steak?
Leave a message.
How about you like steak, right?
Yeah, well, where do you want to go?
Houston's?
Let's do it.
Go to Houston's in Century City Plaza.
Yeah, you know that, Houston?
Sure, yeah, that's where you go.
Did you hear what Johnny B just said?
That's exactly where we're going.
That's when you got to go. Go to the one in Century City Plaza.
No, that's where we've gone before. That's why I'm so amazed that you said that. Whenever me and Super Dave get together, we get together at the Century City.
That's where we go.
But aren't you amazed that Johnny B just said that?
No, Johnny B never. I mean, he does things that amaze me all the time. I wish he was back on the air.
Hey, Super, because they have great food at that Houston's.
Oh, my God, yeah.
That's good food.
Artichoke dip.
Artichoke dip, there you go. Hey, Super, when you guys go, can I go with you guys?
You know how much fun that would be?
Oh, man, but Neil's got to come, though. Really?
Neil will wait on us.
Neil will wait on us.
How would you like to have Neil as your waiter? I'll have steak. I wouldn't.
I'll have steak? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Oh, God. All right, Super Dave Osborne and Norm Macdonald appearing at Houston's.
And Norm, wish Neil a happy birthday if he has one, okay?
Wait.
All right, listen, guys, we got to move along. I want to
Hey,
tell.
are we moving along?
Yeah, we're moving along. We got to go.
You know what, Johnny? Your show is as great as ever, and I'll call in another 5 years.
As always, the great, lovely
happy
Super
birthday,
Dave.
and have a great time at Zany's.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, baby.
Super. When are you going to come to Chicago? Norm's come and visited me.
I am coming in about a week.
You are such a liar.
He's the most hermetic guy ever, Super Dave.
Now, you know what?
Can't get him out of his house.
See that? You hear that, Super? You're saying he doesn't call. He says he can't get you out of the house. Who's telling the truth here?
That's not true. Can I tell you a quick story?
If you don't tell me that bus joke, one of these days, I'm going to bother you. I'm going to call you every week.
True story.
Go
Can
ahead.
I tell it, please?
Yes.
Norm was in Vegas. He was performing. This was a few years ago. So we went there. I went there, and we played golf. And Lori Joe, Norm's assistant, had a little dog.
My producer.
Her producer, I'm very sorry. Well, I'm not demeaning her. I love her.
Oh, okay.
Boy, are you going to stop this story cold?
No, I'm just
My
saying.
producer, and it's Lori Joe, not Lori Joe. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I am telling you the truth.
We were playing Shadow Creek.
Yes, and they gave Norm a huge suite. So we went down to gamble. As Norm, I don't know if he does it anymore, but occasionally he would like to place a bet on things. And when we came back up, we opened the door to the suite, and it looked like 7 rock and rollers had been there for a week. The dog had completely destroyed the drapes, the wooden walls, everything. That's a true story.
Yeah.
What?
Well, this is you're talking about Lori Joe's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
And then, but you're forgetting that then the dog escaped.
Yeah, and it was downstairs in the jail with people.
It was in a jail.
It was in a jail.
And it traumatized gypsies.
Yeah. It did traumatize gypsies.
Traumatized gypsies?
Yeah, they tried to sue.
I haven't heard the word gypsies mentioned in the last 20 years either.
I know there were gypsies on the same floor that we were on.
Listen to what you're saying. When was the last time anyone said the word gypsies?
Right, I don't know.
Come on, who says? Hey, what?
No one says gypsy
Well,
anymore.
listen, that's because you don't hang around at the edge of town.
Watch out for the gypsies. Here come the gypsies.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
God bless all of you. God bless. Now, hopefully we get out of this crisis soon.
No, listen, Super Dave.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lori Joe, she is right now listening to Johnny B because the whole Hoekstra family loves Johnny B out in Kankakee.
Kankakee, Illinois.
It's actually St.
How about
Anne.
that, Super Dave? I got listeners in Kankakee, Illinois.
Actually, St. Anne.
St. Anne, Illinois.
How great is that?
That's fantastic. Super Dave, I'm getting yelled at right now.
Story.
Now I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah, I would too.
Hey, Super, if you don't tell me that bus joke before I die, I will kill you myself.
I will tell it to you, and I'll call you in 5 years, and we'll have a big birthday.
Super, can we make one bet on the air right now or one sort of declaration? When I die, I would like you to give me the bus joke over my grave.
I will put the bus joke in your grave.
Oh, thank you.
All right?
All right, goodbye.
I will put a recording of it in your grave.
Hey, watch out for gypsies.
Careful for those gypsies.
Gypsies.
And remember, badminton for everybody.
Watch out for badminton playing gypsies. They will kill you.
And you can see Neil tonight at Not So Funny.
Neil Macdonald, Norm's brother, performing at Not So Funnies in Canada. Super Dave, I'm hanging up on you.
Hey, Super Dave.
No. You tell him he has to go.
No, I was just going to say, because you said not so funny, this comedian George Miller used to have this joke. You know George Miller?
No, yes, of course.
And he said, I just played, he goes, there's a great club in New York, Catch a Rising Star. I played that one. That was a great club. Not as good as the one I'm playing next week across the street. Snub a bombing has been.
There it is. All right. Now we're bringing George Miller into this. Oh, my good Lord. Super Dave.
I like Not So Funny better.
Oh, Not So Funny. I have to
because
tell.
Not So Funny goes with Zany.
Right. It's very. He's not so funny. All right, Super Dave, thank you very much.
You'd only have one person on the bill, and it would be Neil.
Performing tonight.
Neil is the only comic in the United States who opens for himself.
Here he is again in Not So Funny's the headliner, Neil Macdonald. Here he is.
Neil Macdonald.
Here he is. Come on out. Come on out.
Talk about the economy.
Come on out, Neil.
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
All right, there it is. I know. Goodbye.
That's just like this. You know what that is? That's his Take My Wife, please.
That's his Henry Youngman-esque moment.
Goodbye, Super Dave.
You need to hear the history to see the future. The Brandmeier Archives.
Good morning.
Doesn't it seem like sometime we could talk all day?